Welcome back to Commodities Update video and happy long weekend. Hope you guys are having a great Easter long weekend. And today we'll be looking at natural gas, UNG, as well as oil, US dollar, gold, and silver. So we'll be looking at their support and resistance levels, as well as we'll be doing technical analysis on the charts and look at what's the most likely scenario where price will be heading into later next week. So looking at trends as well. And there's a free Discord link in my YouTube bio for you to come just hang out, chat, talk about whatever, talk about stocks, as well as if you guys want to get your own stocks technically analyzed, make sure to check out the Patreon page. There is a Patreon shop where you can purchase that, as well as mentorship. And make sure to check out the 15-minute free coaching call. That'll be a limited time, and you guys can hop on the call and check out 15 minutes for free. All right, let's take a look at natural gas to start out with. So natural gas on Friday was quite interesting to me. So the bears have been absolute full control, as you can see on the hourly charts and daily charts, as well as weekly charts. Every trend is currently in a downtrend. How we define a trend is a lower low and with a, as well as a higher low. So there's a lower low and this is a trend. So initial move down, and the pivot is going to be lower than the prior high. So a lower high, and then a lower low, meaning the low is lower than the prior low. So a lower high and a lower low makes a trend. So now that's a daily downtrend as well as a weekly downtrend. So we have that, and you can see pretty much even on the 4-hour, we have a downtrend. So the only thing I see from the bull side, I'm going to give you guys an unbiased opinion of both bull and bear side, is that we had a slight breakdown of this falling wedge resistance. So this is the falling wedge resistance, and you can see we have been testing this resistance as well over back here, pretty much all the way back here. So that's the falling wedge resistance, and this is the falling wedge support. Over here, just a minor one from here, support, and we had another one here, support, bounce off of that, and this was pretty much a bear break out of that this falling wedge here. You can see we had a volume come in when it broke. That means everybody that wanted to potentially go long at the bottom of this falling wedge, anticipating a breakout on the bull side, probably got stopped out here. So that's all this volume coming in, as well as the bears that wants to short this when this bears break bear, shorted here. So essentially, bulls got stopped out, bears added short here. Essentially, that's where this volume came in. But there is also another support right below us, right below that falling wedge. If we go to the daily chart, you can see where was that? So essentially that falling wedge break, which is this one, also broke this support. See this triple bottom support there, triple bottom, and then when that broke, all these volume came in as well at the same time. So you can see these days, it's just pretty much no volume on this entire drop, just like a slow grind, and then see how volume picked up on this candle here on the you can see that volume on UNG as well. We'll take a look in a second, but so that's that. And the last support that I was looking at over here is this one, which is this one, and coinciding with these three over here. Although this is more so like a bear break, lacking follow through, and we just V-shape, so I don't really count that. But those ones back there, and which coincided with this one, pretty much got us really close to that level on Friday. So I was looking at those three levels, and I was thinking, okay, either we get a bear break, lack follow through, and we V-shaped and go higher, or we get a bear break out of that falling wedge and flush through all these all these supports, and then head to a lower low. But looks like the bear break lacking follow through played out. I think I was talking about that too over here on Tuesday when I made that video with you guys, that we may get a bear break lacking follow through. But So that's the bear side. But currently, bears are still in absolutely full control, even though we had a bear break lacking follow through. That's just the very, very first initial sign that we may potentially get a reversal for the bull side. So good job on the bulls for playing defense after this bear break and bringing it back into the falling wedge. So now we're back into this falling wedge, but we did not get over this resistance, right? You can see we're just under. Pretty much touched it on Friday, right there. This high over here. So this is the 5-minute chart. So we're zooming in now to see what happened when we hit that resistance. So the amount of volume came in. So essentially, probably someone just dumped all their shares. Maybe someone that went long here, and as well as a short trying to play defense here. And then pretty much just came back into the falling wedge. So we never, it was a break above, not really. At the same time, support is a range. It's not a definite number. So I wouldn't call this a break above at all. So in striking distance, we're not that far off, right? We didn't like flush down and then make an hourly downtrend. So we didn't like where's my pen? We didn't like flush down and then bounce, and then flush to lower low. If that happened, and then we'd close at the low of the day down here, that would be a huge red flag for the bulls. That would be means that all the bulls that bought here on that bounce are all in the red again. So essentially, this is just a mini bounce today, and we did squeeze a little bit of the shorts out that was shorting on Thursday. Sorry, Wednesday. Today is Friday. On Wednesday, yeah. And so essentially, all the shorts that shorted down here and shorted on the bear break are currently in the red. But this move is like what? Maybe like 1% higher than over here. So shorts are still comfortable because, 1%, it's not going to give us a short squeeze or anything like that at all. So what do we want to see from the bulls? And is that we want to break out of this falling wedge for good. So when we break out of this falling wedge, we want to see volume come in and we got a clear break above it, not something like this. Make it like a break and then, back test and then bounce off of that. That's the most ideal scenario, or we just break through it and go higher. But at the moment, no signs of that yet. We're still underneath the falling wedge. And we'll see if we can get over it. You can see how many times we have rejected from there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Quite a bit. And then 9, 10, 11. So that's 11 times of rejection from this black line. So the sign is that you can see every time we have rejected from that line, we just flush lower and then we just kind of head lower to like a new low. This time we did that as well, but we held slightly to the striking distance. That means we're still close to it where bulls can retry again. And versus, this where it just flushes and we're just 4% away from it. Of course, if we gap down on Monday, that's a different story, but we'll see if we might have a gap up and retest this on Monday. So as of now, I added a long position, just initial small size, because of this bear break lacking follow through and bouncing, regaining back to this falling wedge. So essentially, we had a bear break out of this pattern, hit pretty much this almost this low range of the here. It's a good sign that we didn't hit here as a support. That means the bears couldn't take it all the way down here. So I did a small position close to like 1.7. Let's see where it was at, around this range. This cluster where it kind of started, where I saw that it held support in this cluster and it bounced a little bit here. It's roughly around 1.736, something around here. This small position. I'm probably gonna add a little bit more if we break out of this falling wedge in the bull side, but I'll see how it ends up trading next week. So that's just my first initial position after this long drawdown. So we'll see how that goes. I talked about this in my Discord too. I posted it as well that I added a small position here, but we'll see how it plays out. If we make a new low and come back down here, back down, break below the falling wedge again, and then break through this last black line here, I'll probably get stopped out. Or if we hit this, break this new low, I'll just stop out. And that's a fake out again on this rejection. So Yeah, a lot of action. I mean, not a lot of action. This grind was very slow, but we'll see if bulls can make something out of this bounce, which was 5.8%, which is pretty significant for a bounce from the lows to the top. It didn't seem like that much. I think we closed about like 2% or something, 1.5 to 2% ish. But this whole move was pretty decent. So what I want to see now is an hourly uptrend. So let's go to the hourly chart. So it pretty much like this: bounce, pivot being set, higher high. So this is an hourly uptrend. So we had one now, essentially. And although it was very lacking follow through because we broke above this high and we just didn't hit higher. So what I want to see is the hourly uptrend continue. So we have, we pulled back again. Let's see if this can continue and make a higher high again above this high. Scenario. So now we have the hourly uptrend on a 4-hour uptrend. As you guys can see, we have not confirmed a 4-hour uptrend since over here. This is a 4-hour uptrend. This move is now big enough where now, since we pulled back, we can try for a 4-hour uptrend as long as we set that pivot as a higher low. Sorry. Yeah, as long as we set that pivot and a lower high, not a higher low, meaning the high is higher than this low. And we set a higher high. Okay, let's see 4-hour uptrend. If your chart looks a little different than mine, make sure to click the adjusted chart. It means it will adjust for the contract gaps. So you'll see there's no gaps when I click the adjusted. All right, that was a very long breakdown for natural gas, but because of this bounce was a little bit different than what we've been having for this kind of a boring grind. So there's a lot more to talk about. We'll see how if the bull side end up playing out. And seasonality wise, April is a little bit better for natural gas as well. So we'll see if we end up getting a little bit of bull move. If we do, on the upper side, I may be looking for closer to this level here. If we break around this resistance zone right there, close to 1.93, 1.86. If we do break this zone, then I'm looking up closer to this top, this local top, close to this 2.1 zone range. But as of now, very, 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 very first step, just break out of this falling wedge resistance. All right, let's take a look at UNG. So similar idea. And we had that. Let's go to the 4-hour charts. We had the same idea. We're kind of broke and bounced. Let's see. The UNG bounced about, yeah, same idea, 5.7%. It didn't look like a big bounce because of how much we've been dropping, but you can see that we closed roughly around here. So, but I still want it to get over daily EMA 12. You can see that we have not gone over this teal looking line at all. Rejection here. Pretty much just be trending on it. Same thing with that net gas. You can see that we don't get over this daily EMA 12 as we're trending below it. See 5 rejections here and another 3 rejection here. So if we do bounce out of this falling wedge, the thing we want to break is this 1.83. We'll come down a little bit more on Monday. So if we break out of this falling wedge, next resistance is going to be right there for us to break that. Then probably a good chance we come up to 1.9s. But as of now, quite a bit of resistance. Same thing for UNG. So let's see if break out of that falling wedge. This 12 EMA is right next to it. And then it'll hit the resistance as well. 8-hour is pretty key as well. But used to be better, but now it's, see over here, 8-hour, which is perfect rejection over here. And once we get over that, big bull move up. But over here, it's pretty, daily is slightly a little bit more clear, but same thing over here. We still can't really get over this 8-hour EMA 12. Rejected again there as well again on Friday. All right, so we'll see if bulls can pull it off their breaking out of this falling wedge, and maybe we'll get some bigger upside from there. All right, Give me a second. I'll be back real quick. Sorry about that. Someone rang the bell. All right, let's take a look at oil. So oil here is perfectly fine. So I remember talking about this break above, back test the EMA 12. And I said as long as the daily uptrend is intact, no signs of red flag. Big move up, pivot being set, big move up again, pivot being set, and then another move up. And now we're just testing the local highs. This 78.68. So once, if this breaks, we're looking back up to closer to this $1.81 for me, around this $1.81 resistance. If we can break above this 78.7. So we'll see if that happens. And bulls are currently perfectly fine. As long as daily uptrend is intact, no signs of red flags. Even on the short-term time frame, everything is, zero signs of red flag. We don't even have a 5-minute downtrend. So although this is a mini triple top, we're like, 0.1% away from it. So it's really easy to break. So yeah, no signs of red flags at this moment. Very first sign of red flag you'll get is maybe a 15-minute downtrend from the bears, but that's really nothing compared to the daily chart. Everything is currently in an uptrend. So, all right, so US dollar. Not much going on. We're still looking for that tightening range versus big tightening range. As long as we don't break above this high, tightening range is still intact. So we'll see which way the bulls decide to do on Monday. We had the inflation data today, but didn't really move much. So if this starts to come down, then tightening range is still intact. But if this starts to break above this prior weekly high, then tightening range is gone, and we have a weekly uptrend, which might bring this higher up to this 105, 106 level. Those are the two scenarios I'm looking at. So I'm still waiting to see which way it decides to go at the moment. Right now, we're like what, 0.4% away from that weekly high. So far 2 days of not getting over it, but we'll see how Monday brings us. So yeah, big picture wise, if we do break this high, it's going to be a weekly uptrend, and that will give us bulls more fuel to this 105.6 level. All right, let's take a look at gold. Wow, that's a nice breakout. So over here, bull flag, breakout, back test at the EMA 12, came higher. So didn't even get below this teal looking line. Just makes bulls are absolute full control. And let's see. So what's the next level? There is no level at this moment until it discovers it, because we are at blue sky, all-time highs. No resistance above us. And when that happens, it means it's the easiest for bulls to run it, because there's just no resistance above us other than there's just FOMO, momentum, and no resistance until someone decides that it's getting too expensive and they want to take profit. Then you start to form resistance some area, either it goes sideways or it drops, then we'll know. But now, none of that is happened, because we literally close at the high of this day. No signs of anything. Nobody was selling or anything. So yeah, bulls are looking good. And if you're a bear, you definitely don't want to short this, because you don't know how much it's going to go higher. It's going to go. You can look at this right here, right? 84 RSI. You'd be like, oh, it's overbought, so you short it. Right? Next thing you know, we're like 3% higher. Oh, 2.5% higher than that 84 RSI. So overbought can stay overbought. So don't short it just because it's overbought. That's the last thing we do, especially in a all-time high breakout. Yeah. Now, no signs of resistance. And silver, let's see, did we break out? Nope. Silver still in the big pattern of this big triangle. Resistance, 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 resistance. Support. Although we're getting kind of close. Let's see. It will be okay. Never mind. I take that back. It had to take us to November, but obviously it can easily break out of it.